อ อ Gracias. students of medicine or family that could peer into the operating table. To me, this is alluding here where the family members would sit when they were suffering from Sophia, whose sister would sit while they were living and dealing with this clear sense of alienation that you could relate to each personality. And he